Coming to you live from Hermon Brothers Field here in Palmer, Alaska. It's the Matsu Miners hosting the Alaska Goldpanners of Fairbanks. The Goldpanners, this is a exhibition game between them as they are no longer in the Alaskan Baseball League. They've been going around and playing different teams in different areas, but right now it's the Matsu Miners. We'll also take a look at the starting lineup for the Goldpanners of Fairbanks. Leading things off, Kyle Nell out of San Francisco. Batting second, Tanner Breaker from South Mountains Community College. Batting third, Brad Harris out of Central Arizona. Batting fourth, the cleanup batter, Raleigh Nichols out of Chorritos Junior College. Batting fifth from Glendale Community College, Mitchell Allen. Batting sixth out of UC San Diego, Nick Kitzman. Batting seventh from Pacific California, Bryce Kirk. Batting eighth, Brody Whitman from Chemiquita. And batting ninth to round things out for the Goldpanners Fairbanks, Hunter Lessard from Glendale Community College. On the mound for the Goldpanners, Toby Davis out of Weatherford. And on the mound for the Matsu Miners this evening out of Texas A&M, Asa Lacey. Lacey coming off a performance of 13 strikeouts his last time out as he'll look to continue his success in this exhibition game between the Goldpanners of Fairbanks. Brad, it was a tough one to watch yesterday, though.
Yeah, it really was. But the Miners, we mentioned it in the pregame, these are two exhibition games, non-conference. So this is a wonderful time to work out all the kinks that sort of have appeared through the end of this season, especially in yesterday in that tough loss. So expect the Miners to come out with a lot of aggression, a lot of aggressiveness, especially from the bats, as they were perfect hit through 5 games and then shut out throughout the whole 9. But they also looking for a good performance of Asa Lacey. Going to be on a bit of a pitch count watch, only going to be throwing around 50, 55 pitches. But nevertheless, they still want a solid performance out of him. So that way they don't have to use too many bullpen guys and save them, especially for Sunday in the big matchup against the Bucks.
A big matchup indeed, as the Miners, they still control their destiny. 1 win, and they are in first place. Right now, the Bucks, they have to win out and are doing a pretty nice job of it. But instead, right now, it's the Alaskan Goldpanners. As Kyle Nell is about ready to stand in, as this game is about to be ready to be underway. Kyle Nell from San Francisco and Tigard, Oregon takes first pitch called strike from Asa Lacey. That's first pitch of the game. Lacey working from the windup, the pitch into Nell. Swung on, line drive out into right field. Now fall down for a base hit. Nell rounds first, but he'll hold off, as that's the first hit, a leadoff hit in the game for the Goldpanners. We'll run through the defensive alignment for the Matsu Miners. In left field is Kona Quiggle, Brady Merritt's in center, and Aaron Walters making a start today out in right field. Tommy Bassetti's man at third base, Drew Swift at short, Connor Denning at second, and Josh Hatcher at first. Asa Lacey on the mound, and David Avitia behind the plate. Asa Lacey pitching from the stretch. First pitch into Tanner Baker hits the outside corner for strike 1. No balls and 1 strike with nobody out here on the top of the first inning. Again, it's an exhibition game between the Goldpanners Fairbanks and the Matsu Miners. 2 exhibition games for the Miners before they get back to their last regular season game in conference against the Anchorage Bucks on Sunday, as this one is swung and missed by Tanner Breaker. 0-2. Sounds like the Matsu Miners bullpen is cheering on their team. Heard a couple Josh Hatcher calls. Hatcher again, the man at first. He's holding on Kyle Nell. The 0-2 count, swing and a miss from Tanner Baker. First strikeout on the day for Asa Lacey. First outs in this game here in the top of the first inning.
Well, there it is. We expected a heavy dose of strikes, and Asa Lacey really good with when he's ahead in the count with those 2 strikes. We saw right there, expect a lot more strikeouts tonight from the left-handed hurler.
And now with that strikeout, the first out of the game, Brett Harris will come to the plate. Harris, he's the man at third base for the Goldpanners. As from the stretch, Lacey winds and deals as this one is swung on, fouled off towards the right side, but that's going to go out of play. Giving chase was Josh Hatcher. Aaron Walters took a couple steps out in right field. But again, that's out. No balls, one strike with one out here in the top of the first inning. Brad Harris at the plate facing off against Asa Lacey. Second pitch on the way. He lays down a bunt, but this one rolls slowly foul as David Vitia makes sure of it. 0-2 now the count.
Yeah, just held onto the barrel of or the end of the bat a little too much, therefore making the ball draw foul.
You can now hear the Pinarini chants. Austin Pinarini, the designated hitter, not in the field right now, but I'm sure he's appreciating the shout out from the Electric Factory down the line and right.
Well, the bullpen just trying to bring energy tonight as a lot of the Miners were down yesterday after the tough loss, and they'll look to definitely bring a lot of that energy and try to get the win today.
Check over to first is not in time as the count remains no balls and 2 strikes to Brett Harris. Harris so far in the season batting .316, has 40 hits and 136 at-bats, has scored 40 times. As the 0-2 is swung on and missed, strike 3, back-to-back strikeouts for Asa Lacey here in the top of the first inning. Leadoff man reached base on a single, but the next 2 sat down on strikes. As Asa Lacey looks to strike out the side with now Raleigh Nichols at the plate.
That's twice in a row Asa Lacey's gotten someone to strike out with the fastball. So it seems like that may be the go-to put-out pitch today.
Raleigh Nichols, 39 hits, 139 at-bats, batting .281 on the Goldpanner season. As the first pitch into him is taken outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count with 2 outs in the top of the first. No score between the Miners and the Goldpanners. Connor Mills, Brad Walker with you. Standing on first is Kyle Nell. At the plate, Raleigh Nichols. As the 1-0 is taken on the outside corner, strike 1. 1-1 the count into Raleigh Nichols. And for Nichols, he's been an RBI guy. 30 of them on the season, has walked 22 times, and has struck out 38. 1-1 pitch is swung on and fouled off towards the left side. 1-2 now the count to Raleigh Nichols. Outfield is playing straight away. Brady Merritt playing a little bit more shallow than we'd see Kona Quiggle play. Merritt, of course, has tremendous speed and plays very good defense out in center. As a 1-2 is swung on, hit out into left field. Ranging back is Kona Quiggle. The glove, he got it for out number 3. Kona Quiggle just reaches out his glove and finds the ball midair. A nice catch from Kona Quiggle to end things here in the top of the first, bottom of the first inning. Coming up next when we return here on Matsu Miners Radio.
Hi guys, Drew Swift.
Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
The Alaska Railroad and Operation Lifesaver would like to remind our friends and neighbors when approaching a railroad crossing, always expect to train. Look, listen, live.
Hey, I'm Tyler Bassetti. I'm from Nevada, Reno, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Baseball.
It's the bottom of the first inning. No score between the Miners and Goldpanners. First at-bats for the Miners are coming up. Their lineup goes as follows. Drew Swift leads things off from Arizona State. Kona Quiggle bats second out of Grand Canyon University. Austin Pinarini, the designated hitter, he's out of Gonzaga. Batting fourth from Texas A&M, Aaron Walters. Batting fifth, Josh Hatcher out of Mississippi State. Connor Denning from Mesa Community College, he bats sixth. Batting seventh is Tyler Bassetti out of the University of Nevada, Reno. Batting eighth, David Avizzi out of Grand Canyon University. And rounding things down to the bottom is Brady Merritt out of the University of New Mexico. As the first pitch is swung on, ground ball right up the middle. First pitch First hit here for Drew Swift. Single right back up the middle for Drew Swift to lead things off. Just like the top of the first, so begins the bottom.
Drew hasn't exactly had the best year at the plate so far this summer, so good to see him get things started with a hit.
Swift's on first with nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning, and now Kona Quiggle stands in at the plate. Quiggle out of Grand Canyon University, having himself a nice season for the Matsu Miners. Quiggle, 49 hits, that leads the ABL, batting .306 as he takes the first pitch for a ball from Toby Davis. And Toby Davis from Weatherford University. He is a pitcher for the Goldpanners in this exhibition game between the Miners and Goldpanners. Second pitch is swung on. This one's hit out into left field. Ranging over is Baker into foul territory. And that goes and is caught right down the line. A nice play made by Baker for the first out here in the bottom of the first. Austin Pianarini, designated hitter, now comes to bat. Pino batting .274 in the season, has 32 hits and 117 at-bats. Gets on base at a good clip of .357, has 26 RBIs, walked 12 times and struck out 16. He's played in 33 games for the Miners as Drew Swift is on the move, and he'll steal a bag easily. Drew Swift with his 15th stolen base of the season. This one does not count towards conference record, however. With a stolen base for Drew Swift. They're in the bottom of the first inning with one out. And Austin Pianarini at the plate.
Swift with so much speed and also gets a great jump on pitchers more times than not. A very much of a threat when he's on the base paths.
Goldpanners yesterday lost to the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks by a score of 3-2. As this one is fouled off towards the left side and out of play. And for the Miners, did not fare well against the Anchorage Bucks, dropping a tough one 12-0. As Adam Seminaris, the league leader in ERA, did more of what he has done all season long, shut down the Miners as this one is swung on. And again, another foul ball towards the left side. Count is at 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. No score between the Miners and the Goldpanners with Drew Swift on second base. Pianarini, then Austin. Check that. Aaron Walters on deck. 1-2 the count from Toby Davis. The pitch inside for ball 2. Defensive alignment for the Goldpanners. Baker's in left, Nichols in center, Whitman, he's in right field. Harris, the third baseman, Lesser, the shortstop, Nell at second base, and Allen's at first. Toby Davis on the mound, and Kirk is behind the plate. 2-2 the count to Austin Pianarini. He swings through this one for strike 3. 2 outs now here in the bottom of the fourth with Aaron Walters coming to the dish.
Pianarini well out in front of the breaking ball right there.
Your right fielder, number 15, Aaron.
Toby Davis fooling Austin Pianarini as he now talks with Josh Hatcher, who's on the on-deck circle. Kind of tell him what happened and how he can improve. Aaron Walters at the plate. He's 34 for 126 on the season, batting .270. As he takes the first pitch from Toby Davis, low and inside for a ball. 1-0. Walters, 17 RBIs, has walked 6 times, struck out 23, and he's played in 35 games so far. The Miners, as this one is a hot shot right back up the middle into center field. Drew Swift rounding third. He's heading for home. The throw will be in time. A nice throw from Nichols to throw out Drew Swift at the plate. Aaron Walters, he had a single, but Swift, a strong throw from Nichols in center. That got the third out here in the bottom of the first. Good defense from the Goldpanners as this game is heading towards the top of the second inning, and you're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio.
Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
The Alaska Railroad and Operation Lifesaver would like to remind our friends and neighbors when approaching a railroad crossing, always expect a train. Look, listen, live.
This is Aaron Walters from Texas A&M University. I'm a catcher, infielder, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
Top of the second inning, no score between the Goldpanners of Fairbanks and the Matsu Miners. Asa Lacey back out on the mound for his second inning. Lacey went 1, 2, 3, 4 in the top of the fourth, or top of the first. Gave up a base hit to Kyle Nell. Tanner Baker struck out, as did Brett Harris. And Riley Nichols flew out to left field to end the top of the first inning, as we're here in the top of the second inning with no score. And Mitchell Allen coming to the plate.
Leading off the Goldpanners here in the top of inning number 2. First baseman number 17, Mitchell Allen.
Mitchell Allen out of Glendale Community College. 32 hits and 90 at-bats, 21 RBIs, 9 walks, and 27 strikeouts as he takes the first pitch just a bit high from Asa Lacey for ball 1. Allen played in 27 games for the Goldpanners as he swings through this fastball in the high and outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mitchell also batting .356 with 32 hits and 90 at-bats as this one is swung on and fouled off towards the right side and out of play. 1-2 the count from Asa Lacey to Mitchell Allen. From the windup, Lacey deals this one just outside for ball 2. Last game against the Chinooks had 1 hit and 4 at-bats as he swings and pokes this one out into left field. Ranging in is Kona Quiggle. The dive. He's got it. A nice play from Kona Quiggle. Feet first slide into shallow left field. It was going to be either Quiggle or Drew Swift. Quiggle calling Swift off at the last moment and makes the catch.
Kona's just played great defense all season long for the Matsu Miners, and it showed right there. In the Miners defense sort of struggled last night, but they're really picking it up tonight, trying to come out with a whole new aggression and really change the way they play.
Again, it's an exhibition game between the Goldpanners today. 2 exhibitions in a row as the first pitch was for a called strike into Nick Kitzman. Goldpanners today, Anchorage Adult All-Stars tomorrow, then back to conference play on Sunday as this one swung on and poked into foul territory, slicing and out of play. Josh Hatcher ranging near the Miners bullpen to try to go over and get it, but unable to do so as that's down into the cement. No balls, 2 strikes with 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Asa Lacey pitching from the windup to Nick Kitzman. The pitch, a breaking ball low and inside for ball 1. This one swung on and another foul ball towards the right side. Josh Hatcher ranging over, but he'll run out of room again, as that's another souvenir for the fans here at Hermon Brothers Field. Kitzman batting .283, has 17 hits and 60 at-bats. 4 doubles, 1 triple, and does have a home run for the Goldpanners as the 1-2 is being delivered. This one is high and inside for ball 2. Kitzman 11 RBIs, 13 walks. Has been hit by pitch 2 times and struck out 19. As this one's a ground ball over to Bassetti at third. He's got it. The throw a little low, but Josh Hatcher handles it for the second out of the inning. A good play from Bassetti to get the second out as Asa Lacey will now pitch to Bryce Kirk. Kirk batting .238 for the Goldpanners, has 19 hits and 80 at-bats, 2 doubles and a home run for his extra base hits, has 8 RBIs, walked 10 times, struck out an equal 10 times. As the first pitch, lefty on lefty matchup is on the outside corner for a called strike, 0-1. It's celebrating Palmer Day here at the ballpark. American flag from the fire department is flying high out in center field. This one was swung on and missed. No balls, 2 strikes with 2 away. Asa Lacey looking for his 3rd strikeout on the day. As the 0-2 is being delivered, the pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. Lacey does have 3, as that's the 3rd out to end the top of the 2nd inning. Miners nothing, Goldpanners nothing, as we enter the bottom of the 2nd inning. You're listening to the Mat-Su Miners on the Miner Radio.
Mat-Su Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Mat-Su Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
It's Josh Hatcher here, infield outfield from Mississippi State University, and you're listening to Mat-Su Miners Radio.
Bottom of the 2nd inning, Toby Davis still on the mound for the Alaskan Goldpanners as Josh Hatcher will lead things off. It'll be Hatcher, Connor Denning, and Tyler Bassetti. 5, 6, 7 due up for the Miners. Josh Hatcher from Mississippi State University. Unfortunately, his teammate Denver McQuarrie will not be with us here with the Miners as he had to go home. Family emergency. We wish him the best. As Josh Hatcher stands in against Toby Davis. Davis gave up 2 hits but no runs as a nice throw from Nichols out in center field was able to get Drew Swift, who was rounding 3rd and was coming from 2nd. First pitch from Toby Davis misses low and outside for ball 1. The 1-0 count swung on, ground ball over towards short. On the backhand, Lessard has it. The throw just gets Josh Hatcher by a hair for the first out in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
Tell you what, Connor, it's nice to see the Miners get some hits in that 1st inning. Fortunately, not getting a run out of it, but nice to see the bats coming out aggressive.
Yeah, bats coming out aggressive as the Miners only had 2 hits in yesterday's game. One coming from Drew Swift, another one coming from Kona Quiggle. As a first pitch into Connor Denning misses for a ball. 1-0 the count to Denning. And for Connor Denning, 7 hits and 33 at-bats, batting .212 as he swings and lines this one out into left center field, slicing and getting down for a base hit. Denning rounding first, he's heading for 2nd. The ball is still in the outfield, a hard turn from Denning, but he'll hold off. It's a 1-out double for Connor Denning here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Another runner in scoring position now for Tyler Bassetti.
Real nice hit there from Connor Denning. He didn't try to do too much with it. A nice line drive out into the alley. And good for Mr. Denning. Not really an everyday guy for the Miners, but he has done well the past 2 times he's gotten an opportunity.
Denning, a JUCO All-American this past season at Mesa Community College and showing everybody why there. A nice double from Connor Denning as now Tyler Bassetti stands in at the plate. First pitch from Toby Davis into Tyler Bassetti is a hard grounder over towards short. Lessard the throw just gets Bassetti. 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. And David Avitia at the plate.
Now batting, your catcher number 22, David Avitia.
David not getting a lot of playing time for the Miners, as his bat really hasn't been there all too much, but his defense behind the plate has been invaluable. David, a very sure-handed catcher, a great guy to be around, good clubhouse guy. As the first pitch misses low and away, a breaking ball from Toby Davis. 1-0.
Should also mention that he rocks a very solid mustache. David Avitia's mustache is probably the best one on the team.
Who are the other Miners that have a mustache?
A lot of them.
Kona Quiggle's got one. Drew Swift.
Quiggle's rocking the goatee look right now. Swifty's got one going.
As the pitch hits the outside corner, 1-1 to David Avitia.
A lot of the bullpen, I believe pretty much everyone in the bullpen has one going. And I think
Corrigan's got one, right?
Yeah, Corrigan. Yep, Brady's one of them.
1-1 the count to David Avitia from Toby Davis. From the stretch, he deals. Breaking ball that swung on and grounded foul towards the left side as the catcher, Kirk, will pick it up. So a lot of Miners with some facial hair.
Yeah, it's just a fun thing to bring the guys together and possibly chat about as they try to see which one grows the best.
Jacob Butcher's got a pretty good
little goatee look going. Oh, yeah. Little chin hair.
1 ball, 2 strikes. A pitch swung on and another foul ball from David Avitia. He stays alive at the plate with Connor Denning on second. Denning with 1 out. He doubled in this inning in the bottom of the second. No score between the Mat-Su Miners and the Goldpanners of Fairbanks. Infield playing back with 2 outs. Outfield is straight away. Toby Davis looking into his catcher, Kirk, gets the sign to look back to second. Double look back. Now at the plate, he deals. Check swing. He did not go around for ball 2. This is the first time in a long time that the Mat-Su Miners and Goldpanners have faced each other since, I believe, 2014, 2015, when the Goldpanners were still in the Alaskan Baseball League, as they are not anymore, as this is an exhibition game. The 2-2. Checked his swing. David Avitia did not go around on the breaking ball that hit the dirt. David has worked a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 away here in the bottom of the second inning.
Miners definitely looking to get going early run-wise, so that way they can give their starter a bit of a cushion.
And for David, does have 8 walks on the season. As the 3-2 from Davis is delivered. Outside, ball 4. 9 walks for David Avitia. Runners are on first and second base for Braden Merritt.
Your center fielder, number 4.
Merritt out of the University of New Mexico. Hasn't seen a lot of playing time as well, but batting .228, has 13 hits and 57 at-bats, 4 RBIs, 3 walks, and 12 strikeouts. Has played in 24 games for the Miners. As he stands in at the plate right now. A lefty on righty matchup, first pitch swing. This one goes foul towards the left side, 0-1.
Merritt, a bit of an upside. Assistant coach Tyler LeBrun told Braden he took his best BP of the season today, just a few hours before the game. So looking to carry that over onto the field tonight.
1-0 the count from Toby Davis into Brady Merritt. The pitch swung on at another foul ball. 0-2 to Brady Merritt from Toby Davis. Davis looking into his catcher, Kirk. A long hold. Now he's ready. Look back to second. And the pitch outside for ball 1. And for the Miners, right now in the standings, 26-17. A game and a half above the Anchorage Bucks. But the Bucks a chance to clinch first place if they win out. A game against the Chinooks on Friday, and then the Miners on Sunday as Merritt swings and flies this one into foul territory along the left side, ranging over to third baseman Harris, who makes the catch for the 3rd out here in the bottom of the second inning. Still no score between the Mat-Su Miners and the Goldpanners of Fairbanks. When they return, it'll be the top of the 3rd. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio.
Matsu Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
It's Josh Hatcher here, infield outfield from Mississippi State University, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
Still no score between the Matsu Miners and the Alaskan Goldpanners of Fairbanks. Asa Lacey still on the mound for the Miners. We'll see and watch his pitch count as I believe prior to the game, somewhere around 45. Again, it's an exhibition game. We'll see a lot of changes throughout for the Matsu Miners so far. Nothing has changed yet, including the score. We're still scoreless. With the Miners, 3 hits. Goldpanners, only 1 as the first pitch is delivered to Brody Whitman, who swings and misses for strike 1. Whitman, batting .280 on the season, has 26 hits and 93 at-bats as he is hit by a pitch. Asa Lacey, first hit by pitch of the day as he hits Brody Whitman, who'll trot down over to first. Looks like he's all right.
Shortstop number 8, Hunter Lassard.
As now Hunter Lassard will stand in. Lassard, the shortstop for today. 23 hits in 110 at-bats. As he lays down a bunt here, Asa Lacey's only play will be to first, and he goes there for the first out here in the top of the 3rd inning. Moving over from first to second is Brody Whitman, as now the Goldpanners of Fairbanks have a runner in scoring position for the top of the lineup.
And that's how you do it. Get a guy on, move him over, and then expect the next guy to possibly drive him in.
Kyle Nell, who had the only hit for the Goldpanners, leading off this game. A hit right up the middle. As Nell is 1 for 1. Asa Lacey pitching from the windup. He deals. This fastball hits the inside portion of the plate. Nothing in 1. Lacey went 1-2-3 in the second and 1-2-3-4 in the first. As now he'll have to deal with a runner in scoring position for the first time today. The 0-1 taken just outside for ball 1. 1-1 the counts to Kyle Nell. Umpiring crew today, Nate DeSantis at third base, Silas Drayden behind the plate, and Brad Polk is a man at first. Right now, Polk positioned over near second base. The 1-1 from Lacey is swung on and fouled off towards the right side. That goes out of play and into Alaskan State Fair territory. Over 2 fences along our right side. Again, an exhibition game between the Goldpanners and Matsu Miners. As we go through the standings in the ABL after this pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. Asa Lacey's pitch is swung on and a slow roller over towards second. Charging hard is Connor Denning. The glove flip will not be in time. An infield single for Kyle Nell. Nell is 2 for 2 on the day, and a runner is now 90 feet away from scoring in Brody Whitman.
Nice hustle there from Nell, as that was a tough play made by Connor Denning. Interesting that he tried to just flip it from his glove rather than trying to grab it with his bare hand and throw it. nevertheless, interesting decision.
Well, now 2 for 2. Tanner Barker now at the plate. Barker struck out. It was the first strikeout victim for Asa Lacey today, as he's 0 for 1. First pitch misses high and inside to Tanner Barker. Tanner Baker. Baker on the season, listed as a pitcher, but he's hitting now. Almost like Spencer Henson-esque, as he's batting .314, has 32 hits in 102 at-bats, 5 doubles and 3 triples. That pitcher's in for a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike is the count to Tanner Baker. Baker 22 RBIs, 19 walks, and 11 strikeouts. That's a 1-1 misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Baker in yesterday's game against the Chinooks went 1 for 2. Had a sacrifice fly, drove in one of the 2 runs for the Goldpanners. Walked and also struck out as he takes this pitch inside from Asa Lacey. 3 balls, 1 strike, and 1 out. Here in the top of the 3rd inning, no score between the Miners and the Goldpanners. Wind has started to pick up a little bit here at Hermon Brothers Field, but the sun is shining. Partial cloud coverage. As Asa Lacey gets ready, the 3-1 swung on and fouled off towards left side. That goes out of play. Full count to Tanner Baker. Baker getting on base at .418 on the season, slugging at .402, and put those two together, you get the on-base plus slugging at .820. Before the Chinooks, the Goldpanners faced the Seals. As this one is checked over towards first base, Kyle Nell goes back standing. 3-2, the count remains to Tanner Baker.
Lacey would definitely like a big strikeout right here. Try to get him out of this 3rd inning, as the Miners' bats seem to be coming along slowly but surely this game.
The 3-2 swung on and missed strike 3. 4th strikeout on the day for Asa Lacey, as that's the 2nd time Baker has gone down on strikes.
Lacey, another well-placed pitch to these past 2 starts now for Asa Lacey. He's just almost throwing dots, really locked in, throwing his pitches with a lot of confidence.
Now Brett Harris, who also struck out back in the 1st inning, will come to the plate. There are runners at the corners here in the top of the 3rd inning between the Goldpanners and the Miners. Asa Lacey still working from the stretch. Andy Deal swung on, and this one is lifted out and fouled towards the right side. Looks like there's a pitcher warming up in the Matsu Miners bullpen. And from this distance, looks like it's Spencer Henson. Looking to get some work in for him, as he hasn't seen the mound all too often this season. Was one of the aces for the Miners just last year, but now his bat has been one of the best. Last pitch was swung on and fouled straight back from Brett Harris. No balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Here in the top of the 3rd inning, runners are at the corners for the Goldpanners. Over at 3rd is Brody Whitman, and on 1st is Kyle Nell. The 0-2. Breaking ball misses inside for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 away. Here in the top of the 3rd inning, no score between the Miners and the Goldpanners, as the Miners looking to bounce back from yesterday's loss in this exhibition game. As the 1-2 is grounded over towards Connor Denning, but he kicks it around. Denning unable to handle the ground ball. 1 run will score. It's an error charge to Connor Denning. And now that breaks the scoreless game. Goldpanners 1, Miners nothing.
It's real unfortunate that that is how the first run is given up. Nevertheless, nice pitch from Asa Lacey to get the ground ball, but he'll have to refocus and lock in.
For Denning, that's his 2nd error on the season. Should that count? As again, it's an exhibition game. 2 exhibitions, and then back to regular season against the Bucks on Sunday, July 29th. Lacey now dealing to Riley Nichols, and Nichols, who really kept this game scoreless back in the first inning with a pretty good throw from center field to throw out the quick-footed Drew Swift. 0-1 the count to Nichols with runners on first and second base. Lacey's 0-1 is a breaking ball that misses low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Baresa on the season, a 3-1 record, a ERA of 2.2, and 32 2/3 innings pitched. From Kerrville, Texas, has appeared in 7 games, started 6 of them, as this one is swung on and missed. From Riley Nichols, 1-2 now the count.
Don't be surprised to see a big breaking ball from Ace Lacey. He'll probably start it low in the zone, and it'll break towards the dirt.
1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 away. Here in the top of the 3rd inning, 1 run across as the Goldpanners have a 1-0 lead. As this one is swung on and fouled off left side. 1-2 the count remains. Riley Nichols giving Lacey some difficulty trying to put him away. And Faresa, 45 strikeouts on the season. As a 1-2 is taken inside. Corner, strike 3 called. Top of the 3rd has been put to rest. Only 1 run comes across on an error as the Goldpanners take a 1-0 lead. Ball game headed into the bottom of the 3rd as you're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio.
Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use like anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes. Hey, bro, toss me that avocado.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is Aaron Walters from Texas A&M University. I'm a catcher, infielder, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
For your Miners here in the 3rd, your shortstop, number 2.
It's the top of the order leading things off here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Goldpanners of Fairbanks have a 1-0 lead. That 1 run is unearned. As Drew Swift, his first pitch swing, he slices this one foul and over near the Miners bullpen. 0-1. Toby Davis still on the mound for the Goldpanners, as he has thrown up a couple zeros in the 1st and 2nd inning. Swift, he is 1 for 1 as he takes this pitch in for a called strike. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody out in the bottom of the 3rd inning. It'll be Drew Swift, Kona Quiggle, and Austin Pinarini all due up as the 0-2 is taken outside for ball 1.
Swift doing a nice job in his first at-bat, attacking early, put a nice swing on the ball to lead off the 1st inning with a single.
This will be the final game for the Goldpanners today, as their season ends after this. 2 balls and 2 strikes is now the count. The 2-2 from Toby Davis. Drew Swift watches it go by for ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Drew Swift from Toby Davis. The payoff pitch swung on and a chopper foul and over near the Goldpanners dugout.
Swift definitely used to batting this leadoff spot. He led off a few games to begin the season and then dropped into the lower portion of the lineup.
The 3-2 from Toby Davis. Another ground ball right up the middle. Drew Swift will have his 2nd hit of the day. Drew Swift getting the bat on the ball and both going right back up the middle. He's 2 for 2.
When you're a guy like Drew Swift, not hitting for a lot of power, it's all about where you place the ball when you get the bat on it. And these past 2 hits for Drew Swift, when you hit it right up the middle and the pitcher can't get a glove on it, it's really hard for the middle infielders to range over.
Kona Quiggle now stands in, and Quiggle, he fouled out into left field his first time up. As now the catcher Kirk will take a walk out to Toby Davis, chat about a couple things. It's a lefty on righty matchup between Kona Quiggle and Toby Davis. As we take a look down to the Electric Factory down in right field, Spencer Henson is warming up, and the bullpen catcher, that's number 34 out of Boston College, Sean Hughes. Hughes, a right-handed pitcher, catching Spencer Henson. First pitch into Kona Quiggle missed outside. 1 ball, no strikes, and nobody out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Goldpanners hold a 1-0 lead over the Mat-Su Miners, but the Miners 4 hits already as Kona swings and fouls this one straight down into the dirt. 1-1.
And it's really good that the Miners are coming out attacking offensively. We mentioned a rough performance last night from the plate, so they definitely have a fire underneath of them to try to prove that the bats are still there.
1-1 the count to Kona Quiggle. Batting .306 on the season as this one is swung on and lifted deep out into left center field. Ranging over and making the catch. A lot of territory to cover was Raleigh Nichols. And this is our first time seeing the Goldpanners this season, and Nichols looks like a plus defender out in center field.
Well, he's got a lot of speed and a lot of range, which you see out of a typical center fielder. You want your center fielder to be able to cover most of the outfield, and Nichols is doing just that, making a wonderful catch right there. And it's got to be nice as a pitcher knowing your outfielders can range in various ways.
And for the Goldpanners on the season, 27 wins and only 12 losses. As a check over to Drew Swift is not in time. Swift goes back sliding head first. Austin Pinarini at the plate. Pino struck out his first time up. That's the only strikeout that Toby Davis has on the day. First pitch into Pino is high and away for ball 1. Pinarini and Aaron Walters will be due up. Pino at the plate. Walters is standing on deck. There's only 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Count, 1 ball, and no strikes. Drew Swift fakes like he's going. Check swing at the plate. The check over to Nate DeSantis. Austin Pinarini did not go around. 2 balls and no strikes is now the count to the Gonzaga product, Austin Pinarini.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a hit and run possibility, and that would eliminate a possible double play ball.
2 balls and no strikes. Drew Swift is the runner at first. Austin Pinarini at the plate as another throw over from Davis. Swift back standing.
Definitely have to keep Swift within range. He's already stolen 1 base tonight.
A swing here from Austin Pinarini as he fouls it back. 2 balls and 1 strike is now the count. For Toby Davis on his Alaskan Goldpanner season. Has 4 wins, 1 loss, an ERA of 2.65. Has started 3 games and appeared in 10. As Pinarini takes that last pitch for a ball, count has gone to 3 balls and 1 strike. 2 saves for Toby Davis in 37 and 1 inning, 1/3 of an inning pitched. 33 strikeouts to 13 walks, and has allowed 26 hits as Austin Pinarini drives this one out into right center field. Drew Swift rounding second. He's heading for third and will hold up there. The ball is kind of thrown away in the infield. Swift now going for home, and he'll go down sliding. A nice heads up from Drew Swift as he scores on an Austin Pinarini single. Swift, who was on first to begin that at-bat, went around second on the line drive out into right center field. When the ball was thrown around in the infield, Swift took home plate as this ball game is tied between the Mat-Su Miners and Alaskan Goldpanners.
Now you got to love the hustle and awareness of Drew Swift paying attention where the ball is at all times, and he definitely has the speed to get around, as he showed it right there. Huge for the Miners to get that run across.
Austin Pianarini driving in more runs. Unfortunately, again, does not count as it's an exhibition game. Just getting their feel as now Aaron Walters shoots this one deep out into left field. Taking the circle route is Baker, but he's able to make the catch and circle under it for the second out. Aaron Walters gave it a drive, just not enough to go opposite field. A long and loud out for Walters as Josh Hatcher will come to the dish.
Number 19, Josh Hatcher.
Walters, who had a single his first time up and almost scored Drew Swift, but the throw from Riley Nichols was better. As first pitch into Josh Hatcher, he pokes it out into shallow center field. Ranging in will actually be the left fielder Baker, who calls everybody off, and the side is retired. The Mat-Su Miners tie up this ball game at 1 apiece, thanks to good base running from Drew Swift and Austin Pianarini from getting the hit. It's the Miners 1, Goldpanners 1. Top of the fourth coming up next. We'll throw it over to Brad Walker for the fourth, fifth, and sixth inning. You're listening to the Mat-Su Miners on the Miner Radio.
Mat-Su Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Mat-Su Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use like anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes. Hey, bro, toss me that avocado.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
What's up, guys? This is Spencer Henson, infielder at Oral Roberts University, and you're listening to Mat-Su Miners Radio.
Welcome back into Palmer, Alaska at Hermon Brothers Field, where the Goldpanners of Fairbanks and the Mat-Su Miners are all squared up at 1. This is Brad Walker on tap alongside me. It is Connor Mills and a new pitcher for the Mat-Su Miners as we enter the fourth inning, and Spencer Henson. Henson not getting the start position-wise tonight, but has thrown a little bit for the Miners this year as he comes in to replace Asa Lacey, who went 3 innings, allowed 2 hits, 1 run, which was unearned, and no walks, and also struck out 5. So Spencer Henson coming in relief, the two-way player, actually got recruited to play both ways out of high school, but this season at Oral Roberts really tore it up at the plate and only had 1 appearance this past spring as he delivers a first strike into Mitchell Allen. Allen flew out to left field back in the second inning as he came into tonight batting .356. This is a line shot in between short and third. It'll take a few hops before Kona Quiggle scoops it up. And the Goldpanners have a runner on for the second time tonight. Third time they get their leadoff man aboard. That's the third hit of the ball game for the Goldpanners, as they are currently tied with the Miners 1-1. For Spencer this season, pitching-wise, this will be his 6th appearance. He has a record of 1-1 in those 5 appearances, a 1.0 ERA, has a save as well, and in 9 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, 8 walks, and now has allowed 5 hits as he misses away with a fastball to the right-handed hitting Nick Kitzman, the designated hitter out of the UC San Diego, the University of California, San Diego. So he stands in from the right side with a bit of an open stance as Henson gets him swinging through a fastball. The count is now 1-1. Last time we saw Henson pitch was against the Chinooks on July 22nd, where he went a scoreless inning of relief and only facing 3 batters. So he'll work from the stretch, comes set from his chest, is 1-1. This one fouled straight back. Count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody out in the top of the 4th inning as Mitchell Allen stands on first. So Spencer Henson looking for his first strikeout tonight, as Henson's been mostly doing his damage from the plate this year. came into tonight second in batting average with .338. His 1-2 offering a breaking ball that is hit fouling out of play to the right side. Count will stay at 1-2 between Henson and Kitzman. Miners coming out in their all white uniforms with green lettering and numbering with the yellow trim around that. And the green socks, Goldpanners, blue jerseys, gray pants, and yellow lettering and numbering with red trim. This 1-2 from Spencer Henson misses high and away. The count is now all squared up at 2. Henson has only allowed 1 run all season long, and that came back on July 8th against the Oilers, where he was the losing pitcher, allowing a walk-off hit down in Kenai to end the trip to Kenai against the Oilers, as the Miners went 3-2 this year when facing the Peninsula Oilers. In Kenai, I should say. Saying Kenai a lot right there. This one's fouled straight back. Count is 2-2. Beautiful day in Palmer, 67 degrees, and the sun is shining through. A bit of a cloud coverage, but nevertheless, this is one of the better days that we've seen in a while, considering the past few days in Anchorage when the Miners have played. It's been sort of rainy. This one's is flared out into right field, moving over to his right and making the catch is Aaron Walters for out number 1. Walters tonight has not gotten a start in the outfield all season long for the Miners, as he is a utility man. Made some starts at first base and catcher, but this is his first time stepping out of the infield, as he is listed as a utility guy for the Miners and is able to play all 3 areas of defense, as it brings up Bryce Kirk, the catcher, batting from the left side. Kirk out of the University of Pacific, as he pitches in California. This one is towered into shallow right field. Connor Denning under it, can of corn for out number 2. So an F4 recorded, as Spencer Henson allowed a leadoff base hit, but since then has retired 2 Goldpanners in a row. That brings up Brody Whitman, the right fielder, as he actually reached last inning. He was hit by a pitch by Asa Lacey. And I tell you what, Lacey has pitched very well of recent. Coming into tonight, in his previous 4 starts, he is 3-0 in that span, 22 2/3 innings, and only allowed 3 earned runs and 36 strikeouts. So this is an unofficial stat-wise game, as it's a non-conference game, so no stats will go towards the Miners' numbers tonight, as Spencer Henson delivers a strike. 0-1, 2 down, top of the 4th inning. We're all squared up at 1 between the Panners and the Miners. Spencer Henson delivers another nice breaking pitch. He's ahead in the count, 0-2 to Brody Whitman. Henson only 7 strikeouts coming into this ball game. Would look for 1 more, but unfortunately will not go to his total. So from the stretch with a runner on first, his 0-2. This one is tapped right up the middle, diving and just missing that one is Connor Denning. This ball will roll into center field as Braden Merritt comes up with it. And for the second hit of the inning, Brody Whitman's aboard on first, and that moves Mitchell Allen over to second.
Well, just good positioning from Connor Denning as he tried to lay out and dive forward. He was more towards the second base bag in case the runner would have stolen the bag, but just out of his glove and out of his reach.
2 down in the top of the 4th inning. Hunter Lassard steps up, the shortstop out of Glendale Community College. So he'll be batting from the right side, a righty on righty matchup. This first pitch from Henson nails the lower portion of the plate. Count is 0-1. Mentioned 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. The Goldpanners with runners on first and second, as both teams brought a run across in the 3rd inning. So Henson kicks and deals. This is a nice off-speed pitch. It's 0-2. He was ahead in the count to Brody Whitman, but Whitman battled for a single. Interesting to see what happens to Hunter Lassard, who has 25 strikeouts on the season. Henson kicks and deals. This one bounced foul over to the left side. Rossetti will pick it up in foul territory, so we'll stay at 0-2 count, as Lassard, out of his 25 hits this season, 5 of them are doubles. That's his only extra base hit in that category. But nevertheless, Spencer Henson, who's been working from the stretch ever since he saw a batter to begin this game, or his appearance, misses low and away with a fastball. The count is 1-2. As Henson, he's come in for some really nice late relief appearances, although we mentioned really getting his glory this summer for his hitting, and especially this past spring where he won the Summit League Triple Crown. 1-2 pitch, fastball that misses high. The count is 2-2. Hunter Lassard with a sac bunt in his first at-bat back in the third inning. It actually moved Brody Whitman over as he ended up coming around to score. As that's the Goldpanners' only run, as they have now gathered up 4 hits. We're in the sitting in the top of the fourth inning. Henson, his 2-2. That's fouled off and will stay at a 2-2 count. Lassard really doing quite a nice job staying alive in this at-bat.
And it looks like Henson will get this inning and maybe a couple more. As, like you said, he hasn't pitched a lot this season. Probably getting in some work on the mound as he's gotten in a ton of work at the plate.
So Henson, his 2-2 offering. This one is a shallow pop-up over to the right side of the foul territory. Josh Hatcher running in, makes the catch for out number 3. So the Goldpanners, they get 2 hits, but they leave 2 on in the top of the fourth as we're still tied up at 1 heading into the home half of the fourth inning on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
The Alaska Railroad and Operation Lifesaver would like to remind our friends and neighbors when approaching a railroad crossing, always expect a train. Look, listen, live.
Hi guys, Drew Swift, infielder from Arizona State University, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
It's the bottom of the fourth inning between the Goldpanners and the Miners, and we're all knotted up at 1 as Connor Denning, Tyler Bozetti, and David Avitia, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, are due up for the Miners. Still facing right-handed thrower Toby Davis out of Weatherford. As Davis, this is only his 4th start of the season. As we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, appeared in a relief appearance where he went 2 scoreless innings, but nevertheless stands up tall on the rubber. He'll be facing the switch hitter Connor Denning, who bats from the left side. He'll take a 2-seam fastball low and away, 1-0. Denning had a double back in the second inning in his first at-bat, as he's really done well the past 2 games that he's been given chances. This 1-0 pitch, this one tapped foul over to the left side. The count moved to 1-1. In his last game on the 22nd against the Chinooks, he went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. That was the first time this season he's had a multi-RBI game. As Denning now brought his average up to 212, also a 333 on base percentage. The only 33 at-bats all year long, so looking to make a difference right now as he takes a strike outside. He currently sits down on the count, 1-2. Davis working from the wind. He misses in the dirt. The count goes to 2-2 to Connor Denning. So the Miners, who now in their past 5 games have scored 24 runs, as they went shut out last night, as Connor Denning takes one around the toes. The count moved to 3-2. Only got 2 hits as now. That's only the second time the Miners have been shut out all season long. But Davis, his full count pitch misses low. Connor Denning's aboard with a walk, as that is the 3rd time tonight the Matsu Miners have their leadoff man aboard. That brings up Tyler Bozetti from the right side of the dish. Bozetti grounded over to the Goldpanners' fellow third baseman as well in his first at-bat in the second inning. Bozetti came into tonight batting .240 with a .355 on base percentage and was tied for 5th in the ABL with 21 walks. So Davis will work half out of the stretch as Bozetti tries to bunt. It'll drop straight down and off the plate, so that'll go foul. The count is 0-1 with nobody out in the top of the fourth inning, all tied up at 1 between the Panners and the Miners. But the Miners do have a runner on first for Tyler Bozzetti. Bozzetti does have a walk-off to his name this year. Came a few weeks ago against the Bucks. As the Miners will take on the Bucks this Sunday in what could be a game for the first playoff spot in the ABL. Bozzetti swinging through this pitch from Davis. He is now down on the count, 0-2. As the Bucks are right behind the Mat-Su Miners, only a game and a half out. And if they lose on Saturday, that'll clinch it for the Miners. But if they win, then that game on Sunday will decide it all. So Davis, from his chest, is 0-2, a breaking ball, then misses low and in to the right hand, hitting Tyler Bozzetti. Count is now 1-2. Bozzetti on Wednesday went 0-for-3 against the Bucks. He has not had a hit in his past 3 games. So Davis, who is rocking the stirrups tonight, delivers his 1-2, had Bozzetti well in front of the breaking pitch, as that's the first out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Davis with his second strikeout tonight, as he came into this evening with 33. So if this were being scored officially, he would have 35 total. Nevertheless, it brings up David Avitio, who reached on a walk back in his first at-bat in the second inning. Avitio batting from the right side of the dish out of Grand Canyon University. He steps in as Connor Denning still bored at first base. So Davis, his first pitch to Avitio, misses high with the fastball, 1-0. Avitio, who only came into tonight with 8 walks, would have gone up to 9, as this is his first time playing since July 20th, where against the Oilers he went 0-for-3 with a walk and a strikeout as well. A check over to first, Connor Denning diving back in time. So the count will stay at 1-0. It's only 1 pitch has been thrown to David Avitio, who just finished up his freshman campaign at Grand Canyon University. So Davis, his 1-0 pitch. Avitio waits on it and then lifts it high in the air into right foul ground. Moving over is the first baseman, Allen, as he makes the catch right in front of the Miners dugout for out number 2. That'll bring up Braden Merritt with 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth inning. Connor Denning led off this home half of the fourth inning with a walk, but 2 straight outs has the Miners only working with 1, as we're tied up at 1 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. So Davis, who's working out of the stretch, he's done so in every inning tonight. His first pitch to Braden Merritt is fouled off and out of play to the left side. He'll be down on the count 0-1. Merritt, who flew out back in his first at-bat in the second inning, is playing for the first time since July 22nd. Where against the Chinooks, he went 0-for-3, but did have a stolen base in that contest. The 0-1 pitch misses low. Nice block from Kirk to keep the ball in front of him, as the count is 1-1. Much like the score that currently sits at 1, both teams scoring in last inning, as the Miners do have a runner aboard currently, but only 1 out to work with. Davis, his 1-1 pitch, misses low with a fastball. 2 balls, 1 strike to Braden Merritt, the center fielder out of New Mexico, bats from the left side. High school teammates with Drew Swift at Hamilton High School, as they won a state championship in back-to-back years, gathering up a total of 3 out of the past 4 years. So Braden Merritt fouls one off to the left side. The count is 2-2. Merritt, coincidentally, also playing football in high school. Said he played a little bit of linebacker, but for the most part was a safety. So Merritt, definitely an all-around athlete, and also had the smarts, graduating in the top 10% in his class. So Davis, from his chest, takes a deep breath, checks first, now motions to the plate. Merritt fouls this one off, and then will actually hit him in the shoulder. Sort of plays back. Interesting talking to Merritt. He's a big fan of Last Chance U on Netflix, recently watching the new season that just came out. So I mentioned he played football, also a big football fan as well. Count is 2-2, 2 outs, bottom of the fourth inning. Miners with a runner on first. This game's tied up at 1. Davis kicks and deals. Braden Merritt, a hard ground ball over to second base. Nell will throw to first in time for out number 3. So the Miners get their leadoff man on, but then will be retired 3 in a row to end the 4th inning. The score is all knotted up at 1 between the Goldpanners and the Miners. We'll be right back on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use like anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes. Hey, bro, toss me that avocado.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hey, I'm Tyler Bassetti. I'm from Nevada, Reno, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Baseball.
Panners 1, Miners 1. That's your score through 4 innings of play here at Hermon Brothers Field, as Nell, Baker, and Harris are due up for the Goldpanners of Fairbanks. Definitely always interesting when you have the name of your city to become after your nickname. Sort of a play on words, nevertheless. Rolling with it the whole night long is Spencer Henson on for his 2nd inning of work. Henson, his longest outing is 4 innings, but other than that, 1.2, 1 2/3, I should say, is his 2nd longest, as he misses low with a fastball 1-0 to Kyle Nell, who's been really hitting well today for the Panners, as he's 2 for 2 with 2 singles, both coming against Asa Lacey, as he shoots this one into right field. But Aaron Walters, who doesn't really have to make a move, makes the catch for out number 1. So Nell is retired for the first time tonight, as that brings up Tanner Baker. He struck out twice at the hands of Asa Lacey, so possibly seeing a new pitcher might change his perspective on things. Facing Spencer Henson, as Henson in that longest outing went 4 innings, was the winning pitcher against the Bucks in that 12-inning affair in game 2 of a doubleheader, where the Miners, it almost seemed like they saved all of their runs for that 12th inning, where they scored 5 in the top half. Henson misses low and away with a fastball. The count is 1-0. This time tries to work inside, but misses around the ankles. The count is 2 balls and no strikes, with 1 down in the top of the 5th inning. Aaron Palmer. Henson working from the wind. His pitch misses high. He's now fallen in the count 3-0. As there is, seems like left-handed side armor. Kyle King is up in the bullpen. The Panners also with a man up in their bullpen as well, as Henson does deliver a strike. The count is now 3-1. Tanner Baker, the left fielder, had 11 strikeouts coming into tonight, with 2 of them with 32 hits and batted .314 as well. So just not seeing the ball quite well tonight, as he dribbles this one fouling over to the right side. Henson, after falling behind 3-0, has brought it back with 2 straight strikes. It's a full count with 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. So Henson looks in, working quickly. His pitch. This one is tapped right back to him on the mound. He gathers it and makes the nice throw over to first for out number 2. And Connor, Henson, being the position player he is, sort of easier to field that pitching position, unlike other pitchers who are just used to fielding out of the pitcher spot.
Absolutely. And for Henson, he's just natural being out on the field. All-around athlete, can do it with the back, can do it with the arm. And for Spencer, this is no surprise that he's doing this well.
Spencer, you mentioned an athlete. We saw down in Kenai in the rec center. He can play a bit of basketball as well. He's really carrying his team. Interesting to see Spencer head into the hole. No one definitely taking charges against Spencer Henson, as that's a whole lot of muscle coming your way. Nevertheless, he misses high and in, or rather nails the high and in corner to Brett Harris for a strike. And now has delivered another one. He's ahead in the count 0-2 with 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning.
I got the muscle of Spencer Henson and then the height of Noah Cordova. 6'6". He can dunk.
As this pitch misses high, 1-2, you can really build a nice basketball team from this minor squad. So a lot of talent athletically all around for the Mat-Su team. Henson, this misses high near the helmet of Brett Harris. So the count has been worked to 2-2 with 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning.
Well, these are all-around athletes, and going back to Braden Merritt, he's got his grades in check. He's a great athlete, and as now Henson just struck out a batter, but Braden Merritt, again, all-around athlete, doing a nice job in the classroom and on the fields.
You mentioned it, Parcher. Brett Harris strikes out looking to end the top of the 5th inning as we're all tied up at 1, heading into the bottom of the 5th inning on Mat-Su Miners Radio. Mat-Su Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Mat-Su Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
Hey y'all, I'm Blake Shelton. I love that country music connects people all over this great nation, but unfortunately so does something else, childhood hunger. 15 million children struggle with hunger in America. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks works to rescue our surplus food to help provide billions of meals to families in need across the country. Join the fight against hunger at feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
This is David Avitia from Grand Canyon University. I'm a catcher, and this is Mat-Su Miners Baseball.
Welcome into the bottom of the 5th inning where Drew Swift stands into the dish from the right side. He'll look at a strike from Toby Davis, who's still on the mound for the Goldpanners of Fairbanks. Working from the wind, his second pitch, this misses low, gets past Kirk. As the Panners were retired in order, that's the first time either team's been set down 1-2-3, thanks to Spencer Henson. So we're all tied up at 1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So Davis from the wind, his 1-1 pitch. This one hit high in the air to right field. Moving over is Whitman to his right and makes the catch for out number 1. As that is the first time tonight that Drew Swift has been retired. 2 singles before that. And eerie similar are both stat lines of the leadoff men, both 2 for 2 through 3 innings, or both came up in the 1st and 3rd innings. And then also in the 5th, a single in the 1st and 3rd for both, and also a F9 in the 5th inning as well. So sort of coincidentally, they are the same between Nell and Swift. Nevertheless, Konaquiggle fouling first pitch he sees off to the left side as the count is 0-1 with 1 out. Next pitch to Quiggle is a 2-hopper to the second baseman, Nell. His throw to first in time for out number 2. So even more coincidentally, if Toby Davis can get Austin Pinarini, he'd set down the Miners in order. And everything looking quite similar, except Baker, rather, grounded out to the pitcher, where Konaquiggle grounded to second. Pinarini steps in. He's 1 for 2 tonight as he had an RBI back in the 3rd inning, which brought in the Miners' only run to tie the game at 1. Davis, he misses low with this pitch. The count is 1-0. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Both teams scored in that 3rd inning. As Davis, he works from the wind. Pitch into Austin Pinarini is fouled out and over to the left side. 1-1. Davis, his longest appearance this season came on July 17th, where he was a winner. Went 8 1/3, allowed 2 runs, 2 both being earned, only 3 hits and struck out 6. But he misses low with this pitch. The count is now 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 down in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pinarini, who went 0 for 3 on Wednesday as the Miners only gathered 2 hits against the Bucks, but before then had 5 hits in his past 9 at-bats with 5 RBIs. This one's a base knock into left field. Coming in to gather it is Baker, and the Miners have a runner on with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning.
And it's good to see Pinarini Pinarini getting his bat back around and getting the base hits. Again, even though it's exhibition, he's getting those at-bats. He's practicing his swing, getting the mechanics down, and just feeling good.
And no matter what it is in any sport, whether it's practice, an exhibition game, preseason, regular season game, if you're seeing the ball well and you're getting hits, especially in baseball, you want to do the same things right to get that confidence back up. So Davis will work out of the stretch as he's done so every inning prior to the fifth. He'll miss low with a breaking ball to Aaron Walters. So count 1-0. Walters tonight, 1 for 2, had a single back in the first inning, but unfortunately had to walk back to the dugout after it as Drew Swift was thrown out at home back in the first inning. So Davis, he misses high and away with this fastball. The count is now 2-0 with 2 down in the bottom of the fifth. So Davis comes set from his chest. Next pitch into Walters is dribbled right back to the mound. Davis will come off the bump, and his throw to first is in time for the third out of the fifth inning. A pretty quiet fifth inning of play, only 1 hit combined between both teams, as it did come at the hands of the Miners as they leave 1 runner on here in the bottom of the fifth. It's still tied up at 1 as we head into the 6th inning on Mat-Su Miners Radio. Mat-Su Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Mat-Su Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use like anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes. Hey, bro, toss me that avocado.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is Colin Quiggle, outfield infield from Grand Canyon University, and you're listening to Mat-Su Miners Radio.
Another new weather, excuse me.
All
Holy
good?
Guacamole coming out of break, coming in hot here in Palmer. Nevertheless, a new pitcher for the Mat-Su Miners and left-handed thrower Kyle King out of Bakersfield, California, in Cal State Bakersfield. Kyle has really adopted that left-handed specialist role, so would likely see him in maybe more of an extended appearance tonight, as no one is up and throwing in the Miners bullpen. Noah Cordova playing catch with Aaron Walters, but nevertheless no other action. King comes into tonight in 9 appearances, has started 1 of them, and in 9 innings has a 4.0 ERA, a 1-1 record, struck out 7, and has 6 walks as well, allowing 7 hits. So he'll be facing Nichols, Allen, and Kitzman of the Goldpanners, as this game is all tied up at 1. Only 10 hits combined through the first 5 innings. So King, who's been known as sort of the president of the electric factory in the bullpen, really always at the center of all the antics that the bullpen provides, now looks to provide some excellent relief, as he's really done so, becoming that sidearm thrower as he is. So he'll work from the stretch. His first pitch nails the lower portion of the plate, 0-1. Pitching to Nichols, the left-handed batter. He's 0 for 2 tonight, striking out his last at-bat in the 3rd inning. So King, this is what he is known to do, facing lefties. Is 0-1. This misses low and away. Count is now 1-1. As King has only allowed 1 earned run in his past 6 appearances. Last appearance was July 21st against the Chinooks, where he allowed that run, did not retire a batter, and he walked 1 and only saw 2. So this one is fouled over to the right side. The count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes, as Kyle King looks for his first strikeout of the game. He comes in relief of Spencer Henson. This pitch will run through Henson's numbers. King kicks and deals. Nice slider, has Nichols looking for strike number 3 in the first out in the top of the 6th inning. So Henson's numbers through 2 innings of work, it had 2 hits, did not allow any runs, no walks, and also struck out 1 as he came in relief for starter Asa Lacey. So now Henson will be in line for the win unless anything changes.
Well, first the Miners have to get one more run to get a win.
That's true.
But hey, you never know.
Well, this could end in a tie because we're only going 9 innings regardless of the score after 9. So 9 full innings. We will see a bottom of the 9th, even if the Miners are winning. So just interesting thing to look out for those of you listening at home tonight. As Mitchell Allen steps to the dish, the right-handed hitter out of Boulder Creek, California, in Glendale Community College. He is down in the count currently, 0-2 with 1 out in the top of the 6th inning. King from his waist, his 0-2 pitch just misses outside. The count is now 1-2. So King in a different position now, seeing a right-handed batter, as he hasn't seen too much of recent. He did see one in the Chinooks game, but mostly they're having Kyle King come in and just face the left-handers. But he's doing quite a nice job right now. His 1-2 pitch swung on and missed by Mitchell Allen, as that will be the second out here in the top of the 6th inning. Back-to-back strikeouts recorded for Kyle King, 1 looking and 1 swinging, as that brings Nick Kitzman to the dish. The designated hitter is 0-2 tonight.
And just really good to see from Kyle King coming in, throwing strikes. Last time out, he got roughed up a little bit, but we heard the manager say, keep your head up and don't get too discouraged, as he's been coming back on fire right now.
King, his first pitch into Kitzman. That nails the lower inside corner, the right-handed hitting Kitzman. The count is now 0-1. 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning. King has retired 2 via the strikeout as he looks to strike out the side, and the Miners are looking to set the Painters down in order for the 2nd straight inning. This is a hard ground ball over to third base. Tyler Bozetti gathers, throws his first in time for out number 3. So indeed, in back-to-back innings, the Mat-Su Miners pitching staff retires the Goldpanners in order. We're all tied up at 1 as we head into the home half of the 6th inning on Mat-Su Miners Radio. Mat-Su Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Mat-Su Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
Hey y'all, I'm Blake Shelton. I love that country music connects people all over this great nation, but unfortunately so does something else, childhood hunger. 15 million children struggle with hunger in America. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks works to rescue our surplus food to help provide billions of meals to families in need across the country. Join the fight against hunger at feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
The Alaska Railroad and Operation Lifesaver would like to remind our friends and neighbors when approaching a railroad crossing, always expect to train. Look, listen, live.
Welcome into the home half of the 6th inning between the Painters and the Miners. We're all tied up at 1 as Josh Hetcher steps up to the plate from the left side, facing the right-hander Toby Davis, who's only allowed 6 hits tonight, as the Miners have gone 1 run across as we're tied up at 1. Josh Hatcher lines this one foul. He now sits in the count 0-2. Hatcher is 0-2 tonight after flying out to left field in the 3rd inning. And on the season, Hatcher batting .260, and this is his first time playing since July 23rd, where he went 0-4 against the Bucks. This 0-2 pitch misses outside. The count is now 1-2. But Hatcher, before that hitless performance, had a hit in 3 games prior, and struck out twice in his past 3 games played. Nevertheless, Toby Davis is ahead in the count 1-2. He misses low and away with the off-speed pitch, so the count heads to 2-2. Speaking with Josh Hatcher about how he got drafted right out of high school in the 39th round by the Los Angeles Angels, that it was one of the coolest experiences of his life. as he swings through this pitch in the dirt. He'll go down on strikes for the first out in the 6th inning. Davis now has 3 strikeouts tonight. That brings up Connor Denning, who is 1 for 1 this evening. Had a double in the 2nd and then reached on a walk back in the 4th, as Denning has drawn 4 walks this season, now being his 5th here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Rather drew it back in the 4th inning, but nevertheless, we're now in the bottom of the 6th inning. Toby Davis misses outside with a fastball, 1-0. Denning, the switch hitter, has batted lefty all night, facing the right-hander, Toby Davis. Is off speed into Connor Denning. Ties the count up at 1. So there is some movement going on in the Miners bullpen. Nathan Bach, the right-handed thrower from Southeast Missouri State's up and working, as Connor Denning now sits down on the count, 1-2. Denning out of Mesa Community College, we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, was a junior college All-American this past season. It's one of those guys working to have a good summer and then good spring and get some D1 offers, but he swings through this outside pitch from Toby Davis and back-to-back strikeouts for the first 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning for Mr. Davis.
Well, Davis now 4 strikeouts on the day and is kind of settling into a little groove against the Miners here.
And Davis has pitched well all season, has allowed 2 or less runs in all of his appearances except on July 1st, where he gave up 5, all of which being earned. So he's been a nice pitcher for this Goldpanners team. Only his 4th start, but nevertheless, anytime you allow minimal runs, anytime you go out there, it's going to be very trustworthy as he nails the upper portion of the zone with a fastball against the right-handed hitting Tyler Bozetti. Bozetti is 0 for 2 tonight, striking out in his most recent at-bat in the 4th inning. He'll take another strike, low and away, 0-2. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th, all tied up at 1. Both of those runs coming in the 3rd inning, but it's been more of a pitcher's contest since. So Davis, a long look in, standing tall on the mound, gets ready to deal his pitch. This misses high. It was actually over the head of Tyler Bozetti, as Kirk had to get out of the crouch. He couldn't haul it in. So the count will move to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, you know, that ball is high when even Bozetti didn't even duck. The ball just kind of sailed over his head. He just watched it go by.
This 1-2 is lined into center field. Will take 2 hops before Nichols can come in to play it. And Tyler Bozetti is on with the 2-out single. That is the 2nd time tonight that the Miners have gotten a single with 2 outs. The last inning, thanks to the bat of Austin Pinarini. Now Tyler Bozetti with a hit. So Bozetti, who did not have a hit in the 3 games prior to tonight, is his first now in 4 games. So David Avitia steps up to the dish from the right side. Avitia 0 for 1 tonight as he flew out to the first baseman in foul territory in his last at-bat in the 4th inning. He'll take a strike on the lower outside corner, 0-1. So the Miners trying to possibly sneak out and get a lead here with Bozetti on first. Davis working from the stretch. His next pitch is on the outside portion of the zone, 0-2. Davis has worked out of the stretch in every single inning tonight, but only allowing that 1 run and now 7 hits. So he takes a look over at first. Now motions to the plate is 0-2. Misses high and away. The count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. As Avitia coming into tonight only had 1 hit in his past 15 at-bats. So not doing too well from the dish, but any time is a good time to turn around your season. Toby Davis, 1-2 is the count. The pitch just misses low, so the count goes to 2-2. Vitia also striking out 3 times in his past 2 games played. We mentioned this is his first time stepping on the field since July 20th, game against the Oilers. But Avitia has been very solid behind the plate. But anytime you want to be sure on defense, they will throw David behind the dish. He'll take a high and inside fastball around his chest. 3-2 is the count with 2 outs. So Tyler Bozetti will be on the move from first base. So if Avitia can poke one out pretty nicely, Bozetti will have a good chance of scoring, as the Miners and Painters are all tied up at 1 in this non-conference battle of Old old foes. So Davis comes set from his chest. His payoff pitch is flared out into the right side of foul territory, but out of play. So we'll stay full with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Mentioned the Miners dropping a tough one last night, 12-0 at the hands of the Bucks, as they have now only won one game in their past 3. All of them coming against the Bucks, and they'll be facing the Bucks yet again on Sunday. So Toby Davis, his payoff pitch. This one lined just over the head of third baseman Harris. That'll head into left field. Coming up to gather it is Baker, and Tyler Bozetti will move into second base on the single. And now the Miners, thanks to back-to-back hits, have runners on first and second in the bottom of the 6th inning, as we're all tied up at 1 between the Panners and the Miners.
Well, a real good chance here for Brady Merritt to try to break this tied game. Bozetti has good wheels on second and can score on almost anything.
That'll bring a mound visit by the pitching coach of the Panners, as Braden Merritt will await just outside the left-handing batter's box.
And Zachary Wilkins, assistant coach, pitching coach for the Goldpanners out of University of Arizona.
So after the meeting is adjourned, we're all tied up at 1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Bozetti stands on second, Avitia on first, both with 2-out singles, and Braden Merritt, the center fielder, will step up to the dish. So the Lobo out of New Mexico will try to deliver right now for the Miners and possibly give them a lead as we start to move into the latter half of this ball game. So Davis comes set from his chest. His pitch. Merritt taps it over to first base. Allen drops to a knee to gather it, tosses it over to first for out number 3. So the Miners get back-to-back hits with 2 outs, but unfortunately leave both stranded here to end the 6th inning. It's squared up at 1 for the final 3 innings. I'll toss it back over to my partner, Connor Mills, on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use like anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes. Hey, bro, toss me that avocado.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hey, I'm Tyler Bassetti. I'm from Nevada, Reno, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Baseball.
It's the time for the 7th inning. This ball game is still tied at 1 between the Goldpanners of Fairbanks and your Matsu Miners. New man on the mound, as we've expected, a lot of pitching changes so far. We've seen Asa Lacey, Spencer Henson, Kyle King, and now we see Nathan Bach. Bach coming in relief for Kyle King, who went 1 inning, allowed no hits, no runs, no walks, and struck out 2 in his inning of work. And now for Nathan Bach. Bach 3-2 on the season. A lot of decisions have been coming late for him. A junior right-hand pitcher from O'Fallon, Missouri, and Southeast Missouri as his college. 6'1", 175 pounds. As a Cupid Shuffle, we'll get a little round of applause. Sean Hughes out there in a half-catching suit. Has a mask on, has a shin guards, but back to Nathan Bach. Has appeared in 18 relief appearances. Opponents are batting against him 183. A whip of 1.15. Has struck out 7.7 batters per 9 innings. As an average, has allowed 15 hits, no home runs, 2 saves on the season, struck out 18, and walked 11. Has not hit a batter yet, as we are here on the top of the 7th inning, and Bryce Kirk at the plate. Kirk, the catcher so far today, is 0 for 2, struck out in the second against Asa Lacey, and then popped up to second base against Spencer Henson as the first pitch from Nathan Bach is in for a called strike, 0-1. Due up in the inning, Bryce Kirk is at the plate now, Brody Whitman, and then Hunter Lessard. As this one is fouled off, no balls, 2 strikes, and nobody out with the ball game tied at 1. This game will go a full 9. Goldpanners 1, Miners 1. As Nathan Bach pitching from the windup, a high hold around his head for the glove. The pitch taken high and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now the count to Bryce Kirk. As we take a look around the league, game 1 of the doubleheader today between the Pilots and Oilers. As this one is swung on and fouled off. Actually popped up near foul territory, ranging back is second baseman Connor Denning, who makes a catch right near the foul line. A nice play from Connor Denning, showing some range, beating Aaron Walters to the ball out in shallow right field for the first out. Bryce Kirk fly out to right.
Well, on a hit like that, normally the second baseman with the better angle, especially going towards the foul line, would have been a tough catch for right fielder Aaron Walters to make, because he probably had to do it in basket-style fashion. But nevertheless, Connor Denning, excellent defensive show right there.
Bach's first pitch to Brody Whitman's in for a called strike. 0-1. Back to the out-of-town scoreboard. The game going on today, Anchorage Glacier Pilots against the Peninsula Oilers. Game 1 of the doubleheader. The Oilers got the better of the Pilots as that pitch was for a ball. Final score on that one, 2-1, Peninsula Oilers. For the Oilers, 2 runs on 5 hits, had an error, and for the Pilots, 1 run on 6 hits, no errors. We'll take a look in live at the game going on right now, and the Oilers have the better of the Pilots again. 1 run in the first, 4 runs in the second, as the Oilers have a 5-0 lead over the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. That game is in the top of the 5th inning. It's going to be a battle for 3rd and 4th place for the Pilots and Oilers, as Brody Whitman swings and fouls this one off towards the right side and out of play. As we take a look at the standings right now going into the day, the Miners 26-17 at the top of the Alaskan Baseball League, a game and a half up on the Anchorage Bucks, who are at 24-18. They have the day off today. Peninsula Oilers going into the day were 20-20. We just gave you the updated score, the 21-20 as of currently, as this one is swung on and found straight back into the ankle of Brody Whitman. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Whitman. Back to the standings, the Pilots 16-23. We're 7.5 games back, as that is all changing, as 6 games in 3 days. 2 games yesterday, 2 games today, and 2 more between the Pilots and Oilers tomorrow. Now, the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks, who played the Goldpanners of Fairbanks just yesterday, where they won 3-2. Nathan Bach's off-speed pitch misses high and inside to Brody Whitman. 3 balls and 2 strikes is the count, with 1 out here on the top of the 7th inning. Miners 1 and Goldpanners 1. Miners 1 run on 8 hits. Goldpanners 1 run on 4. As the 3-2 is swung on and missed. 4 strike 3. A nice pitch from Nathan Bach to get Brody Whitman for the second out here on the top of the 7th inning to keep this game scoreless.
I tell you what, even though this is an exhibition game, it's getting quite exciting as it's still tied. Both teams not wanting to lose. The Miners trying to hold up the bragging rights for the ABL, as the Panners coming in sort of out of town. Definitely out of town, but nevertheless out of conference.
Well, 6.5 hours, give or take, from Palmer, Alaska up to Fairbanks, Alaska. A trip that I'm sure both teams are not sorry to have missed, because that is a long road trip. Kenai's about 3.5 hours for the Miners to get down. It's going to be an hour shorter for the 2 teams in Anchorage, about 30 minutes shorter for Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks to go down to Kenai, as this one is checked to swing. Home plate umpire Silas Straden said that Hunter Lessard went around. 0-2 the count to Lessard. Bach's pitch from the windup. Taken in for called strike 3. Nathan Bach, 2 strikeouts here in the top of the 7th inning to keep this game knotted up at 1. It's the Miners 1, the Goldpanners 1, as this one is heading into the bottom of the 7th inning. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio.
Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
This is David Avitia from Grand Canyon University. I'm a catcher, and this is Matsu Miners Baseball.
The man on the mound for the Goldpanners of Fairbanks here in the bottom of the 7th inning, Mitchell Allen, who was a designated hitter, comes in to replace, or actually check that, he was the first baseman who comes to the mound as he will face the first batter in Drew Swift, the leadoff man for the Matsu Miners. First pitch was for a ball. Second pitch swing. It's a check swing. Finds the bat of Drew Swift. 1 ball, 1 strike. And nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Final stat line on Toby Davis. Davis goes 6 innings, allows 8 hits, but only 1 run. That 1 run was earned as a line drive out into center field. Ranging over is Nichols. He will make the catch. A hot shot off the bat of Drew Swift. It's been a couple ground balls for base hits and a line drive and fly out to right for Swift. He's been seeing the ball well.
Yeah, he is. He's putting the ball in play. Also, a couple hits to add to it. So good to see Swifty swinging the bat quite nicely, as they're definitely going to need all the bats coming on Sunday.
And now the plate, Kona Quiggle, and Quiggle in search for his first hit as he watches the first ball go by from Mitchell Allen. Second pitch misses low and inside from Allen to Quiggle. And the pitching stats now for Allen: 3 wins, 1 loss, an ERA of 4.33 in 8 games. He's started 6 of them. This will be his, as Kona Quiggle swings through this one. 2 balls and 1 strike. Third relief appearance for Mitchell Allen. In 35 1/3 of an innings pitched, has struck out 24 batters and walked 12, while also allowing 33 hits as Quiggle swings and fouls this one off towards the left side and out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Kona Quiggle at the plate, and on deck is Austin Pinerini. Quiggle again, 0 for 3, flew out to left field in foul territory as he takes a ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes is now the count. Flew out to center field and also grounded out towards second base. And the one thing I've noticed about Quiggle, it seems like the bat is a little bit more high today as he checks his swing. Did he go around? Third base umpire Nate DeSantis says yes, he did. Kona Quiggle punched out by Nate DeSantis on a check swing as that's a second out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And now Austin Pinerini with 2 outs will come to the plate. Pinerini, his last time up, had a single with 2 outs. Then Aaron Walters grounded out towards third.
Pino has been a nice veteran presence in the clubhouse, especially along with Nick Brooks and Spencer Henson, a guy really leading this team and trying to do it by example as he's starting to turn the bat around.
First pitch into Austin Pinerini from Mitchell Allen, missed for a ball, 1-0. Should Pianarini extend the inning? Aaron Walters is on deck. As 1-0 is delivered, swung on and fouled straight back. 1 ball and 1 strike to Austin Pianarini from Mitchell Allen. Well, it's getting into crunch time now, and Austin Pianarini grounds it off the foot of the pitcher Mitchell Allen. The recovery by the second baseman Nell is in time for the out. We'll get back to the Alaskan Baseball League averages and stats when we return in the top of the 8th inning, but a tremendous play from the second baseman Nell to get Austin Pianarini on a ball that caromed off the foot of Mitchell Allen. That's good for the 3rd out here in the bottom of the 7th. Top of the 8th coming up next. Ball game tied at 1 between the Miners and Goldpanners when we return here on Matsu Miners Radio.
Hey, y'all, I'm Blake Shelton. I love that country music connects people all over this great nation, but unfortunately, so does something else: childhood hunger. 15 million children struggle with hunger in America. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks works to rescue our surplus food to help provide billions of meals to families in need across the country. Join the fight against hunger at feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
This is Kona Quiggle, outfield infield from Grand Canyon University, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
Time for the 8th inning. Ball game is still tied up at 1 between the Goldpanners and the Matsu Miners. New man on the mound is Malachi Emmond, who comes in relief for Nathan Bach. Bach going 1 inning, allowing no hits, no runs, no walks, and secured 2 strikeouts. As the last 2 relief pitchers, Kyle King and Nathan Bach, 4 strikeouts in total in 2 innings. A nice job from King and Bach getting the strikeouts. Asa Lacey, who started this game, had 5. As now another strikeout man, and Malachi Emmond is on the mound. Malachi has not recorded a win or a loss on his record as a relief pitcher. He's appeared in 16 games so far, has a 1.89 ERA in 19 innings pitched. Out of Coventry, Connecticut, and the University of New Mexico. 6'3", 215 pounds. First pitch into Kyle Nell, who made a nice play to end the top. Checked out the bottom of the 7th inning. Is in for a called strike, 0-1. Malachi, opponents are batting against him, 169. As the second pitch is fouled off towards the right side, that goes into Alaskan State Fair property. It's 0-2. Malachi, the best strikeout per 9 innings on the Matsu Miners staff at 15. Has allowed 12 hits, 33 strikeouts to 11 walks, and has hit 2 batters on the regular season. It's an exhibition game between the Matsu Miners and Goldpanners of Fairbanks as the 0-2 count is delivered to Nell, swung on and found straight back. Shaking up the camera of our counterparts in the booth next to us. 0-2 the count remains.
Malachi has been pretty good all season long for the Miners, always coming in late game tough situations like typical setup men do.
The 0-2 swung on and missed strike 3. Malachi, who gets 33 strikeouts in the regular season, gets his first here today. 34 if we count it, which we can't because, well, exhibition.
Yeah, definitely, but still the Miners looking for a win. It's a close game, a nice crowd on hand here at Hermon Brothers Field. And also, I'm impressed with the way the Goldpanners faithful has traveled, seeing a lot of their fans before the game tonight.
An old rivalry rekindled here at Hermon Brothers Field in Palmer, Alaska, as first pitch is swung on by Tanner Baker. 0-1. Goldpanners were removed from the Alaskan Baseball League around 2014, 2015, the last time the Miners and Panners faced each other. 0-1 the count for Malachi Emmond, who pitches from the stretch. It's another swing and a miss from Baker. No balls, 2 strikes with 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning. Should this game remain tied through 9, that'll be it. It's a tie game. But the Miners, 2 more chances to break the tie. Malachi's 0-2, swung on, ground ball towards the hole on the right side. That's down for a base hit and into right field. Aaron Walters has it and throws it in, but not before Tanner Baker. A single with 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning, with now Brett Harris coming to the dish.
And you would normally expect a pitcher to pitch towards the double play ball with 1 out, but Malachi Emmond, as we well know by now, is always looking for a strikeout.
Pitch to the strikeout. You can almost hear him say it every day in the clubhouse. Get the strikeout. Brett Harris on the day, he is 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts and reach base on an error, as the first pitch is in for a called strike, 0-1.
And Emmond, rightfully so, can have the mindset like that. He always, you mentioned with the 33, 15 per 9 innings on what Malachi has done in such a realistically short sample size throughout.
1 the count to Brett Harris. And for Malachi, he was on a couple draft boards before entering the season. Disappointed a little bit that his name wasn't called, but it's fired him up a little bit. He's focused, he's ready to go, and trying to prove him wrong. 1-1 the count for Malachi Emmond into Brett Harris. Harris in search for his first hit on the day. He's 0 for 3 again, as the 1-1 is lifted out into left center field, falling fast, diving, and not being able to make the catch was the left fielder Kona Quiggle, who called off Braden Merritt. Merritt giving way to the taller Kona Quiggle as to avoid a collision there, and Quiggle laying out, just unable to make the catch.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seemed like Quiggle had a little bit more of a beat on it, but it was real up in the air. But Quiggle deciding to call it off. Fortunately, couldn't quite make the play.
Now there are runners on first and second base with only 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning. Ball game is tied up at 1 between the Miners and Goldpanners. Malachi looking to keep the scoreless streak alive for relief pitchers, as only 1 run was charged to Asa Lacey. It was unearned on the air, as this one is lifted deep out into center field. Braden Merritt ranging back. He's under it, makes one-hand catch and throws it in. Drew Swift has a play at third base. The throw is in time for the 3rd out in the inning. A double play. Hamilton High School teammates do it again. Braden Merritt from center field to Drew Swift all the way to third base, and Tyler Brassetti to get the out. Tagging up was Tanner Baker, and he was a nice play from the Miners defense here to end the threat in the top of the 8th inning. It still remains the Miners 1, the Goldpanners 1, as we're heading into the bottom of the 8th. You're listening to the Mat-Su Miners on the Miner Radio.
Mat-Su Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Mat-Su Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use like anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes. Hey, bro, toss me that avocado.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Caleb Van Blake, infielder from UC Davis, and you're listening to Mat-Su Miners Radio.
Some excitement to end the top of the 8th inning. A double play started by center fielder Brady Merritt to shortstop Drew Swift, completed by Tyler Brassetti at third. They were able to get the double play off of Riley Nichols, who flew out to center, and then Tanner Baker tagged up from second, testing the arm of Brady Merritt, and Drew Swift. Not a wise move made by him, as that was the third out. And now this game is still tied up at 1 between the Miners and Goldpanners. Still on the mound is Mitchell Allen, who missed inside with the first pitch. Now he misses outside and low with the second pitch to Aaron Walters. 2 balls and no strikes with nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Swinging now and driving this one deep out into left field. Ranging back is the center fielder, and left center is Riley Nichols to make the catch. Another drive off the bat of Aaron Walters, just cannot find a hole.
No, he can't. Unfortunately, that wind is blowing in pretty strongly tonight here at Hermon Brothers Field, and that's exactly where Aaron Walters hit it into center field. And going back to that play to end the top of the 8th, really excellent relay perfection there from Merritt and Swift to quickly get that throw into third.
Well, it's almost like they've been playing together since high school, huh?
Since Little League.
Since Little League. 1-0 the count into Josh Hatcher from Mitchell Allen. Hatcher in search for his first hit as he takes a ball outside. 2 balls, no strikes. For Josh, grounded out to short, flew out to left field, and struck out swinging in the 6th. As we are here on the bottom of the 8th inning with the Miners and Goldpanners all tied up at 1. Allen's pitch is in for a called strike. 2 balls, 1 strike, and 1 out here on the bottom of the 8th inning. Outfield's playing straight away. Infield is back as a fastball misses inside. Hatcher moving his hips back. 3 balls and 1 strike is now the count. Warming up in the bullpen. Looks like the Miners closer Bryce Tossan will get an inning of work. No Cordova, the man protecting the bullpen. As a 3-1 is swung on. Ground ball over towards second base. Getting it on 1 glove and making the catch. Nell to Kirk for the second out of this inning. We'll go through the defense on the infield. That was the only thing shaken up when the pitcher now, Mitchell Allen, moved from first to the mound. Allen's on the mound. Kitzman, the designated hitter, he's behind the plate. And Kirk, who was formerly behind the plate, now moves to first. Everything else is the same way that it was, as first pitch to Connor Denning is in for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Denning trying to break this game from a tie as he grounds one over towards the second baseman, Nell, who takes it on a couple hops. The throw is good and in time for the 3rd out in the bottom of the 8th. Well, this game a little bit more exciting than a lot of would predicted. First place Matsu Miners taking on an exhibition game between the Fairbanks Goldpanners. Goldpanners at 27-12, Miners 26-17. We're still tied going into the top of the 9th. It's the Miners 1, Goldpanners 1, as you're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio.
Matsu Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
You know what really gets a party started? Indoor baseball. Yeah, just find a broom or a pool cue, and you can use like anything as a ball. Cans, bottles, shoes.
Hey, bro, toss me that avocado.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is Aaron Walters from Texas A&M University. I'm a catcher, infielder, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
A good baseball game on hand here at Hermon Brothers Field between the Matsu Miners and the Goldpanners of Fairbanks. sponsor of the day, the city of Palmer, as the American flag is flying high and proud in center field. Big thanks to the Palmer Fire Department putting this together, as now Bryce Tossan, the Miners closer, comes in the top of the 9th inning, non-save situation exhibition game, as Miners and Goldpanners are tied at 1. Malachi Emmon, his day is done, went 1 inning, allowed 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and got 1 strikeout. As Bryce Tossan will now face Mitchell Allen, the pitcher for the Goldpanners. Allen was originally at first and has since moved to the mound. Tossan's first pitch is grounded over towards Drew Swift that takes a high hop on him late, but he's able to recover it and make a good throw for the first out. 1 pitch and 1 out for Bryce Tossan.
Drew Swift with some of the quickest hands in the ABL just showed right there. Way to be adaptable to the hops.
Ballots for the all-league selection have been spread out between broadcasters, general managers, coaches across the 5 teams in the ABL, as everybody's voting for the Golden Glove, Silver Slugger, Best Prospect. Hoping to get those results in before we enter the postseason, as the first pitch was a strike. And the second pitch is also a strike to Nick Kitzman. Kitzman, the now former designated hitter, now behind the plate as he watches 3 pitches all go in for strikes. Nice sequence of pitching from Bryce Tossan. A 3-pitch strikeout to Nick Kitzman, as now Bryce Kirk will come to the plate.
And only 1 out to work with right now if the Goldpanners want to have a victory in this game, as we're only playing 9 innings full regardless of the score after the 9th.
Tossan working quickly from the windup. His first pitch is lined into left field for a base hit. First pitch that Bryce Kirk sees, he lines it out for a base hit. Kirk, that's his first hit on the day. He's 1 for 4. Now Brody Whitman will trot up to the dish. And for Bryce, 1-3 on the season as a closer. Record really isn't taken into account. A redshirt sophomore from Walker, Louisiana, and southeastern Louisiana, 6'2", 212 pounds, a .83 ERA in 21 2/3 innings pitched, 19 relief appearances. Has opponents batting against him 195, a whip of 1.06, and has averaged around 10 to 11 strikeouts per 9 innings. The first pitch was in for a called strike. Swinging strike, check that. 0-1. There's a runner on first base here in the top of the 9th inning. Bryce Kirk with 2 outs. With a single is now David Avitia, blocks a nice ball that was in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Should Brody Whitman extend the inning, Hunter Lessard is on deck.
Bryce just focusing on the batter right here, trying to get this out. Bryce has been so good in this 9th inning for the Miners.
The 1-1 swung on and missed again. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. And for Bryce, the ABL leading saves leader with 10. Has 26 strikeouts and only walked 7 batters. Has not hit a pitcher or hit a batter yet. As a 1-2 is taken, as that one is in the dirt, gets by the catcher David Avitia. 2-2. Brody Whitman just watched that one go by as that got past Avitia. Moving from first to second is Bryce Kirk. Now there's a runner in scoring position. And now we will see a pinch runner. That'll be number 16. We'll check on 16. As we're just learning the players, as are you. It's the first time the Goldpanners have faced, and the only time they have faced the Mat-Su Miners this season.
Appears he's not on the roster. I believe that's what you were about to say, partner.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I do not see a 16, and we were warned about that before, and it doesn't matter anyway. Bryce Tossan strikes out Brody Whitman. Number 16 will appear on second and then disappear from the game. We'll try to get a name for you when we come back. It's the Miners 1, the Goldpanners 1, as we're heading into the bottom of the ninth. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio.
Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
The Alaskan Railroad, an Operation Lifesaver, would like to remind our friends and neighbors when approaching a railroad crossing, always expect to train. Look, listen, live.
Hey, I'm Tyler Bassetti. I'm from Nevada, Reno, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Baseball.
Well, we do find out who the pinch runner was. Number 16, Angel Torres, as now he appeared in the game and has now disappeared as he was just in for pinch running. Tyler Kennedy is a new man out in the field. Originally, Bryce Kirk was at first base. Well, technically, Bryce Kirk was behind the plate, then moved to first base. He got a base hit in the top of the ninth inning, where then Angel Torres appeared in the game. Pinch ran for him when Kirk reached second base, but nothing mattered as Brody Whitman struck out. Again, Tyler Kennedy, listed as a pitcher on the Fairbanks roster, is now playing first base. On the mound still remains number 17, Mitchell Allen, as Tyler Bassetti smacks this one out into right field. Under it is the right fielder, Brody Whitman, for the first out. Miners now only have 2 outs to play with. This game is still tied, but we're playing 9 full. That means we're not going past the 9th inning in an exhibition game.
And in the showcase, we did see the Miners tie the Oilers. I'm sure they still want to win this game for bragging rights, but nevertheless, always interesting when you have a chance of a tie.
Bassetti flew out to right. David Avitia now at the plate. Brady Merritt will be on deck. Those are the 3 due up in the inning with 1 out. First pitch to David Avitia from Mitchell Allen, missed outside. 1 ball, no strikes with 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Miners 1 run on 8 hits, 1 error. As swinging now is Avitia. He pops it over into shallow center field. The center fielder will watch him go in for a base hit. David Avitia has a single. Nichols and Nell miscommunication. Oh my, Nichols called off Nell. Nell just kind of sidestepped, and he should have stayed where he was with a glove up above his head, because Nell would have had a great shot at catching that ball, even if he didn't see it. All he needed was a glove above his head to try to drop that one in, as now Danny Wright will come in as a pinch hitter for David Avitia. Avitia, a gracious single given to him upon the Goldpanners of Fairbanks.
Yeah, Nell, it seemed like he was calling it off, and then the last second just peeled away. And then Nichols obviously showing frustration, as that's always a tough hit to give up.
There's 1 out. Brady Merritt is first pitch swinging. He swings through for the first strike. Danny Wright on first base, pinch running for David Avitia. As now the Miners will not need a catcher, as we're only going 9 here at Hermon Brothers Field in an exhibition game. Allen from the stretch, he deals high for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out. Miners looking to walk it off against the Alaskan Goldpanners of Fairbanks. Again, the Miners 26-17. Their record will not be affected regardless of the outcome of this game. And for the Goldpanners, this is their final game of the season. The 1-1 into Brady Merritt, swung on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It'll be Merritt, then Drew Swift coming up.
That was a hefty hack right there from Braden Merritt. And even though this is an exhibition game, anytime it's close down to the wire, it's always exciting.
1-2 the count with one out. Braden Merritt trying to get on base and keep the train rolling. From the stretch, Allen's ready. He looks in and deals. Swung on, and Merritt gets a bat on this one. Fouls it towards the left side and right off the fence near the Goldpanners dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count remains. Nobody is up in the Miners bullpen, as nobody needs to be. Looks like Mitchell Allen will get this inning as Danny Wright goes back standing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Remains a count to Braden Merritt. One and two. Mitchell Allen's ready and deals. Swung on and missed by Braden Merritt for the second out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Miners 1, Panners 1. As now Drew Swift is looking to extend this inning and try to get the Miners an exhibition win here.
Yeah, and Swift would be the man to do it. He's been pretty hot tonight with those 2 hits, so looking to add another one and get that confidence as they in preparation of the big game on Sunday.
Drew Swift does have 2 hits today. He's 2 for 4. A hit in the 1st and 3rd, and out in the 5th and 7th. Flew out to right and center field. First pitch is in for a called strike, 0-1. 0-1 the count. The pitch from Allen. Taken on the outside corner, strike 2. Miners down to their final strike here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Fans are in attendance here at Hermon Brothers Field, all anticipating to see what Drew Swift will do. 0-2 the count. Mitchell Allen. A long hold from the stretch. He's ready. Misses high and away for ball 1. We'll take a quick glance out of town. Bottom of the 6th inning between the Oilers and Pilots in game 2. The Oilers 7, the Pilots 1. Oilers 7 runs on 11 hits, 1 error. Pilots 1 run, 3 hits, 2 errors. As now Mitchell Allen is ready to pitch to Drew Swift. The 1-2 taken high again. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. The winning run is on first base in Danny Wright. Danny Wright again coming in to pinch run for David Avitia, who was gifted a hit. Miscommunication from Riley Nichols and Nell, the second baseman. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th inning. Final inning of play. Drew Swift swings and misses, and the ball game is over. Ball game over between the Alaskan Goldpanners and the Matsu Miners. This one will end in a tie. 1 run coming for both teams in the 3rd inning, and that's all that will happen. The final score line, the Miners 1 run on 9 hits, 1 error. That run is earned, charged to the Goldpanners, and 1 run, 7 hits, and 1 error for the Goldpanners. The 1 run the Miners allowed is unearned. Asa Lacey start of the game, went 3 innings, allowed 2 hits, 1 run. That was the unearned run. No walks and 5 strikeouts, as this one will end in a tie. Miners are back in action tomorrow against the Anchorage Adult All-Stars for their 2nd straight exhibition game. It'll be the Alaskan Club Day here at Hermon Brothers Field. And then on Sunday, back to conference play against the 2nd place Anchorage Bucks. All eyes will be on the Bucks and Chinooks on Friday. Or check that on Saturday, as the Bucks are off today. Everybody in anticipation trying to find out what the Bucks and Chinooks will do. It depends. With a Bucks win, the Miners turn into a must-win on Sunday. With a Bucks loss, the Miners clinch first place. We'll be right back here on Matsu Miners Radio. For the post-game, we'll get a star of the game, plus the always manager, the interview with the manager, Ben Taylor. For Brad Walker, this is Connor Mills. Thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure.